We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It's Miss Millan once again. It's Saturday at 6 p.m., so you know what that means. It is time for Mixologist LA Live. And if you haven't gone to the store yet to pick up your Aloe Glow, you need to go do that real quick. Holla at your girl. All right, so we got some special guests in the studio today. I'm going to be chopping it up with him. His name is Moses. You guys, please welcome Moses to the show.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on, Moses? It's about to be Christmas. Did you finish your shopping, or are we late like everybody else?
I did all right. I did okay. I got most of the stuff done. I'm going to do a little bit of emergency work tomorrow.
Shopping.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's usually
okay.
how it goes. We always think that we have time at the end. We always, I'll wait till, a couple of days before and I'll go, and then something always comes up and we never, get the time to go and shop. So do you have children? Do you have,
I don't have children. I have a girlfriend.
Oh, well,
and
there
I have
you go.
a lot of friends, and the whole, everyone's real big on the gift giving and the whole thing.
Well, Millan has children, and I try to do. I tried. This doesn't always happen, and probably hasn't happened for the past couple of years. But I try to do my shopping like throughout the year when I catch like little deals and stuff, and then I just hide it away. But I'm not very good with hiding stuff because I'm always like, oh, I want to just give it to them right now. So that's like usually my biggest deal. So how long have you guys been dating, you and your girlfriend?
We've been together for 3 years now.
Nice. Okay, so she's at the point where like you can buy a really nice gift.
Oh, we were there early on.
Oh, see, you know what? I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I guess he's the man, y'all.
No, well,
but he's taken. So, oh well. So let's get into it. Moses is a artist, producer,
musician. I mean, really all around artist. I actually came up as a visual artist.
Okay.
And then I'm a musician as well my whole life, but like from a professional standpoint, my trajectory was to be a graphic designer in advertising and an art director. And then while I'd graduated, and then I went to start working in advertising. But while I was working at the ad agency, somebody called me up saying, "Hey, I need music for my play.
Oh, okay.
Would you be into writing it?" So I said, "Sure, why not?" And then that whole experience was just so exciting and so like just free and wild.
Yeah.
That
music does that.
I couldn't go back.
Yeah, music does that. Music is it's one of those things where you think you can go work a regular job and that you'll be happy and everything. But when you do have a musical mind, you can't stay away from it. Yeah, there's no way.
Honestly, and the job that I had in advertising as an art director was crazy creative. It was super fun. It was great.
Yeah.
But there's still that roof.
Right, exactly.
And with music and being just, the creative, that type of living is just, it's crazy. It's 24/7.
Right. So when you say you're a musician, so what do you exactly do you play? Do you play?
Well, I play
wait a minute. He was going to say everything.
You play everything. No, my first instrument is the drums. I'm definitely a drummer at heart. Okay. Above all. Like even when I'm playing the piano or playing the guitar or whatever I'm playing, I still come from a very percussive foundation.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the drums, a lot of times people think that it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself in the car trying to make my hands do those different beats at the same time, like tap here and do a different beat here and do something else with it. And I just have to take my hat off to people who play the drums because I have rhythm. I'm an artist, but I mean,
when you cut it in a 4 and then you use each limb to do its own thing.
It's an amazing talent to have.
That's how I feel about singers, though. That's the one thing I wish I work.
Oh, well, you're welcome. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's true, like that, because I write a lot of the melodies with my artist and the whole thing, and I really hum them all the way through. But to have that gift to really project, that's incredible to me.
Wow. So it's a lot of people. It's kind of like the philosophy that people have about when they see people driving cars, and then you see the person that rides a bike, and then you see the person that rides the bus, and you see the person that can't see. So there's just a lot of we need to learn to appreciate the things that we don't have, and appreciate the things that we do have. Appreciate people for having the things we don't have so that we can strive to have them. And then, like you can play the drums, but I sing. So it's like, we both are like, I take my hat off to you, and then you're like, dang, I wish I could sing. So
well, I'm very great. I mean, I have that dialogue with a lot of people, and I feel very grateful. Like, it's crazy sometimes when I work with somebody and they seem so like grateful or whatever. They'll say like nice things about me, and I'm looking at them like, "Are you crazy? You're unbelievable! Like, you are the greatest singer." The one of my favorite singers that I work with, Elijah. It's crazy. He's just so talented that it's like mind blowing. But he's just so humble, and he's always like, "No, the way, no, it's amazing how you do." I'm like, "Get out of here!"
Right. So, do you come from a musical background? Is your family rooted in music or anything like that?
Not really. As far as appreciation, absolutely. Like, I grew up with all kinds of crazy music in the house. Like, really, my father's got impeccable taste in music.
Wow.
And my mom she was the visual artist side. So she's an unbelievable.
So you are like really the kid of.
I'm very much so things. that 50-50. If you see them too, you'd be like, oh, like I don't look like her, I don't look like him, but I look like
them.
Exactly.
Right.
But my father raised me on just everything from like the best of blues and classical and soul and funk, and he was just he just keeps it at 10 all the time. It's really, and it's crazy because I only appreciated it way after. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, you always want to be so anti. You just, I want to be crazy, da da da. And then like you turn like 17, 18, and you're like, oh wow, that Bill Withers record that I remember as a kid, you're like, holy, that all that comes rushing back to you. You know what I mean?
People appreciate those things more now. When I was a kid, I appreciated music that my friends, like I was that girl, like in that movie 13 Going 30, when the guy is playing like that really cool song and the girls are like, what is that? For me, that's the kid that I was. I was the kid that would play like Patti LaBelle, got a new attitude, and I'm like, this is the jam, and everybody's like, why are you, turn that off? Are you serious? That's so old. But that's just growing up. That's what I would prefer to listen to. Everybody else was listening to the newer artists, the Ashantis, the Ja Rules, and things like that. I was growing up, and I was listening to Atlantic Star and Patti LaBelle and the Whispers. And so a lot of my friends would tease me. But now that we're older, a lot of things that were cool back then are now starting to, bring themselves back to existence. So all the old artists, all that old music is now starting to come back and start to show itself in the newer music. So is there somebody that's a now artist that really influences both sides of that for you?
Well, it's crazy. My cousin, I don't know if you guys know him. His name is Marky Basie.
Okay. Yeah.
And we played together in bands for probably about 3 or 4 years. And then I always told him like the whole time, I'm like, you need to break out and just do your own thing, because like you just need to do your own thing.
Right.
And finally, in the last couple of years, he really went and he did it. And he has such an you wouldn't know, because like he's like, his influence is like half Tupac, half Sam Cooke. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's such a nice 50-50 split. He has such a strong sense of melody, but like there's still that modern kind of like approach. You know what I mean? You kind of you still want things to feel fresh and new and now.
I feel there's a lot of artists now that are doing that are taking the older. Like I like the music that I want to say Jhené Aiko really gives you.
Amazing. Yeah,
she gives you a really great balance of like you can do anything to her music. You could dance to it. You could sing to it. You can take a bath to it, like anything.
It's just good music. You can interpret it. Yeah. I mean, have you heard the SZA record?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I was gonna say her next. Oh my God.
I just think in general it's a great. I think now because there is so much music, and because we're not dictated to, oh well, you can only listen to what's on the radio. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the radio used to be like the only like
outlet for music.
Exactly. And now it's like you could just be original and interesting and find people who are interested in what you do, and you don't have to bend or break. You know what I mean?
I think that's the beautiful thing about music now is back then you had to have an album. Somebody had to know your name, and now as long as you have enough drive to put out your own project and put it on, you can put it on so many different musical platforms now. There's so many different things. There's Spotify. There's all the, back then you had to like sneak and download stuff on BearShare and LimeWire. And I was one of those kids. I was like, oh my God, download. But now, like I was just saying this to my sister the other day, nothing is about the album anymore. It's about you doing songs that, so somebody might just be pulling from different areas, pulling from, 2 songs from your album and 1 song from mine, and somebody else's from SZA. So people like SZA and her, she has, I had, somebody identified SZA and her to like my musical lane, and I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I'm looking at them like they're way up here on a pedestal, and somebody say, yeah, that's like your lane, and I'm like, wow, like to hear people say things about you that you don't even see in you,
it's usually the case.
Is usually and it's I've grown a lot over the past few years simply because people say you can do this, and I'm like, they're like, no, you can do this part. And
a lot of it's mental anyway.
It is. It is
what you can and can't. It's all in your. It's just that switch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
A lot of people don't realize that musicians and artists, we have such a love for what we do that whatever we put out has to we have to think it's good, because a lot of people say, well, just do it. You sound better than this person. You sound better than that person, but you want to just sound like the best of you. You want to listen to it and say, hey, that was me. So a lot of people tell me all the time, you should do this and you should do that. But we're our toughest critics. Like if I hit a bad note somewhere, I'm like, don't you post that? Don't do that. I mean, people do it. We see artists at the Grammys, and for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, she hit a bad note. And because I'm an artist, I can hear the things that other people don't hear, but I don't want to be that artist. Nobody doesn't. It happens. We make little mistakes, but I don't want to be that artist who'd be like, oh my gosh, she was flat the whole song.
It happened a couple of years back. I think Adele, I forgot what award show it was, but she just stopped the song midway through.
Yes.
I remember that. That was
I was at a concert on Thursday night. I want to say Thursday night. I went to the Holiday Soul concert with Music Soul Child and Keisha Cole and Ro James. Oh my gosh. This is a hard conversation to have. I love Ro James for one, and Music Soul Child. I think Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole
yeah,
too.
Keisha Cole has she's creating a lane for herself. She's kind of like the modern version of Mary J. Blige in a sense. She's like kind of like that. This is what I do type of artist, and she did that the other night. A song started and she started singing, and she just wasn't feeling how she started delivering, or maybe
like,
she wasn't. She was like, run that back. She said, start it again. I was like, whoa, that part of it scares me. Like, it's like, okay, to actually stop and say, that wasn't right. I didn't do that right. Let's start it over. That was a big deal to me. Like that she stopped herself and started over.
I mean, to me, it doesn't bug me, especially if it comes from a place where like when I saw Adele do it, I was like, nah, that was just came straight from the heart. Like, I know it's not professional or whatever, like on that level, but by the same token, you're like, she's a human being. She's like, hold on a second, folks. We got to do that again.
But then you got to think about this. That's Keisha Cole. That's Adele. So an artist that doesn't have a heavy following does that. It's like, yeah, girl, start it over because that was not it. So I think it's harder for artists like us that are not super, super known, because our first impressions are extremely important. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not just open to making a mistake and saying, oh, we can fix it later. Because once somebody gets the first impression of what you sound like or how you deliver, that's pretty much it for most people, until they come out and they see a concert and they go, you know what? She must have been having a bad day because she really killed it this time. So I think that's been my biggest fear in music, is that somebody go, oh, hell no.
Honestly, I mean, not that I'm trying to like give advice or whatever, but like sometimes you just got to let it fly.
Yeah, that's
true. You just got to let it fly
that.
Because like your perception of yourself, it's cloudy. You know what I mean? Like you could put it out there in the world and people are like, holy, wow, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. I've put stuff out that I was like, and then I put out a song recently, got into a commercial, okay? And I had actually just gone back. I was putting my reel together, my stuff for TV and film, and I was like, oh, let me find that commercial.
Okay.
I didn't think it was all that special. I was like, it was cool, whatever. Let me just find it to add. And there was just hundreds of comments. Like, what is this song? I need to know what this song is. And I didn't even think about it. And this was like 2 or 3 months later.
Yeah.
And I was like, the perception in my mind was like, whatever. I made this in 3 days. It was not whatever. And sometimes you put too much thought on it.
Yeah. And accidents are the best songs. I think the best songs that I've recorded have been the ones where we were just in the studio and they played the track and we started just saying stuff and they were like, "That's the song, keep going." And I'm like, "This is whack." They're like, "No, keep going."
Keep being whack. Go.
So I think that I've just moving forward. I think that I've gotten to the point where I used to be on a label and I used to write music on pen and paper. I used to we used to have these writing sessions and we'd have like 10 artists in the room and we would just play tracks and everybody would just have a pen and just write. And I found that it's so much easier for me to just go in the booth and just play it in my ear and just let me bleed onto the mic. Like I don't want my ink to drop on the paper. I want my ink to be on the straight to track. So the first time I actually went into the studio and recorded straight onto the track, it was like, this is my natural element. It felt freer. And for me, words on paper, they don't have depth. They're just words on paper. Like if somebody picked up one of my songs and read it, it doesn't feel the same that when I sing it to you. Then it's like, oh, like Jasmine Sullivan is one of those artists where you can really hear the pain in her voice. Like when she sings, it's like she
that first record, I've like just killed the rewind button like over and over and over and over.
Right?
Like
what did we do? I think I did a surprise birthday party for my sister a couple of years ago, and I was in the process of, or had just started dating this really hot guy that is now the father of my son because he was just that hot. But there was a Jasmine Sullivan song. I know you know it. I Need You Bad. I heard that song, and usually with karaoke, you don't really try to really sing. With karaoke, because you just kind of like, if I mess up, it's karaoke, So that song, to me, I saw it on the pages, and the guy was like, "Yeah, you don't want to sing that. That's kind of." I said, "Excuse me, put it on. I'm gonna sing that." And I made him sit like right in front of I've never done that before. That was like the first time I don't know if it was the drinks talking. I don't know if it was blaming on the liquor, but that was like the first time I put somebody in front of my face, and I was like, "I'm about to sing karaoke to you right now."
Wow.
And that was like one of my first free, like, I don't care if I mess up, I'm singing to you, it don't matter. Like, and if you didn't like it, don't tell me, because I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit, okay? Word to Erykah Badu. So tell us about one of the songs you have is called Stand Up.
That's what's
now, I heard there was 3 that you sent me. I heard all 3 of them. We actually sat in my office the other day and we listened to all 3, and I was like, wow, like this is, so when my assistant pulled your picture up, she went, "That's who did this?" And that always happens. Like, we see, just like when you're watching shows like The Voice, and you see artists and they turn around, they go, "That's whose voice that is?" So, that song to me was just I really like that song. Stand Up was like a really nice song. So we're going to go to break, and we're going to play that song. We're going to see what kind of response we get from the people. Okay. I like it, so it don't even matter. I love it. So we're going to play Stand Up. Give us a few minutes, and we'll be back in just a momento.
Way too long. We can't take this anymore. Fight back, we must as one. Rise up, we must stand up. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something. We gotta stand up. stand up for something. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something, or we'll fall for anything. Oh, we'll fall for anything. Too many lives we have lost. All lives should matter to everyone. Fight back, we must, as one. Rise up, we must stand up. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something, or we'll fall for anything. We'll fall for anything. Stand up today for tomorrow. Stand up for change to follow. Stand up today for tomorrow. Stand up for hope to follow. You gotta stand up. Stand up for something. We 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 gotta stand up. Stand up for something. Or fall for anything.
Hey now, that was so dope.
Thank you.
I like
thank you,
that
thank
song.
you.
I was actually sitting in my office like typing, and we have one of those I had one of those moments where, do you remember, I don't know if this ever happened to you, like you ever had one of those moments where your mom says, "Go downstairs and get me the broom." And then you get downstairs and you open the refrigerator simply because it's there. I think we just do that as kids. But I open the refrigerator and I close the refrigerator and I'm like, I was supposed to do something. She asked me to do something and I can't remember. So you walk around for a second and you're like, what do I do right now? And you finally remember you're supposed to go get the broom. Oh yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. I had one of those moments when I listened to this song. Like I was like typing an email to one of my clients and I'm going back and forth on this email and there's one email comes through and she asked the question. And I was like, what were we talking about? I was like, what am I supposed to be saying to this person right now? I'll completely
You got lost in it.
I got lost. I was like, wow. I was like, this is so cool. And my daughter was sitting next to me. She's like, I like this song. And she was and she was humming. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I really love learning about new artists and hearing stuff that I don't hear. I think that's the beautiful thing about the streaming services like Pandora and Spotify. You hear something and you go, wait a minute, who is that?
I'm addicted to. When I'm anywhere that I am, my because I like to multitask. That second task is I'm on a music service, mining for music.
Oh my goodness! When I drive, I think I have a higher probability of getting into an accident if there's no music playing.
Oh, that's not even an option.
If there's like silence, I'm driving and I'm like, everything, like I feel like my life is all over the place when no music is playing. Like right now, how I'm talking to you right now, all the stuff that I had written on this tablet to go back and forth with you about, like it's all just coming out now. Like it's just, I don't even need to read this. Like it's just there. That is so crazy. Music does that to me. Music is kind of like, you've seen people that have to have medication to function. And music is one of those for me.
Oh,
Like if I don't,
10,000%.
if there was no such thing, like I think that music would probably be like the one thing that I would have to have, or somebody would play music. If there was no such thing as music, I would be like in a straight jacket and I'd be tripping. And then somebody would play a melody and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm normal again. That's what music does. It's like music can make you do so many things.
I really do. It's going to sound ridiculous, but to me, my whole life is a soundtrack. Like from everything from getting in the car to this to that. I'm always like, all right, what's the vibe? How are we doing this? Where are we, you know what I mean? If I'm going for a run, if I'm this, if I'm that, if I got a bunch of people like I'm jumped in the car, I'm just always in that state of mind.
There are so many songs that say so many different things, and a lot of people. My guest last week, Alex Thomas, we spoke about how some artists talk about things that are unrelatable to us, but even though we don't like all music or we don't listen to everybody, it's all relatable to somebody. You know what I mean? We don't listen to what they like to call ratchet music or, you know, things like that. But there are certain songs like that that I feel like the ratchet part of me can kind of identify with certain songs. Like I'm not I don't really listen to a whole lot of rap music, but when I hear certain things, or even when I'm in the studio, I wrote a song called I Ain't Your Girl. And I'm not the things that I said in this song, that's not the kind of person I am. But when I heard that track, that's what it made me feel like. That's what it made me feel like, man, if I had to do this and say this is how I would do it. This is how I would say it. And I was like thinking to myself, I don't think I could put this on my album, but it could be for somebody. This is just not who I am. But, you know, I'm struggling with put it on the album anyway because you did it, or give it to somebody and say, and, you know, you wrote it. So.
Well, that's kind of like especially for singers, it's kind of like in that way where actors get to choose a role and you can really genuinely, it's not who you are,
right?
But you feel that persona. You feel like, I could, I could put this outfit on and I could deliver it honestly. You know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, it's kind of like when you put on a football uniform, you know, and you might be a very modest, you know, humble, quiet, don't really talk a lot guy. And then you put on a football uniform and you're just a beast. Like, what? Did you just run over 3 dudes? Like, this is crazy. So I feel like music is when they say it's the universal language, it speaks to everybody in a different way. It really does. And man, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have music. Like, I'd be sick. So you said you've been in a relationship for 3 years.
Oh, we're making that jump.
Okay, so we're going to jump over to
there was
relationships.
breaks. There was definitely breaks.
With the same person?
Yeah. You know, there was some fighting, some space that needed to take place.
Yeah. We do that.
I take my responsibility. Look, I'll be the first to admit it. Dating a musician, not for the reasons that your guys are doing that. No. But like, it's a very demanding job. I write a lot of stuff for TV and film, and the hours are crazy. Like I'll get a phone call and it's like, this needs to be done tomorrow,
like right now.
Yeah, right now. I've been at dinners where I've been like, I have to go, and it's like, it takes
a special kind of person to deal with anybody that's in the entertainment industry in general, especially when you do multiple things. Like you do a lot of different things. So somebody might call you one day and say, "Hey, do this," and man, it takes a really special kind of person to date somebody that's pursuing entertainment. That's a task, and it takes a very strong, secure person to deal with that. It really is really interesting. So what is the biggest obstacle you think that you and her have had to overcome with you doing all the things that you do?
Oh, easy time, because you know, when you're your own artist, you have to be the one who pushes you. Yeah. There's no person behind me saying go.
Right.
Watch. So the other night I wrote a song for a spot. I had finished working on it at 4 a.m., which I should have went to sleep, right?
Right.
But in my mind, I'm like, nah, there's something here that I'm not doing right.
Right.
And I scrapped the whole thing, stayed up for another 2 hours and got it right. And the client loved it. Everything could not have gone better.
Right.
If you don't have that like thing in you that's like that, your own quality control, your own coach, your own whatever you want to call it, it's not going to happen in this business, period.
Right.
And to do that, it just requires time. You know, you need it's not like at 5 o'clock I shut off and I'm like, cool, not creative anymore.
Right,
Like,
right. It's on all day.
I've been in elevators, and if a melody comes to me, I'll be like around 8 people, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I will have to jot
I
it.
have my voice record in my phone. I'm like, okay, my
10
phone
albums
is
in here. Yeah,
man. I've had to dump on my computer like a few times, and I've always wondered, like, why is my phone saying memory full? I was like, I don't have that many pictures. This is a brand new phone. What the heck?
That's your album.
And then and I go on my computer and like everything is voice recordings. I'm like, I need to dump this stuff. It'll be somebody else's song on the radio, and I hear something that they didn't do, and I'll like redo it. And oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So with her,
you got to do that quick too, because I've gone back to listen to some of my old recordings. I'm
right.
Like, what
was
was
that?
What? I'm like trying to uncover the melody in the recording. And I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense
at all. But I think that's a beautiful thing, and because I'm sure that artists like Usher would listen to songs like his first song. What was that song he came out? Make Me Wanna.
Make Me Wanna.
I'm sure he listens to that now, and he's like, wow. I would have not. I probably would have changed, but that's just because he's the artist. But for us listening to it, that's like, no, that's still the
gold.
jam,
Yeah,
you know. But I'm
course.
sure he listens to it back now, and he's like, oh, I could have added this, I could have done this, because there's things that we learn as artists as we grow, you know. And then he probably go back and do a remix. Like, I just want to remix it because something that I hear now that I didn't hear back then. And then he had a lot of people putting him in different places back then, whereas now he has more control, so he might have been able to do a lot of things. So with your girlfriend, I feel like the easiest way for me to do it is just to make sure you include the person with everything that you're doing.
It's tough because what if you're working in the studio? You got a long night. It's not a hangout situation. You know what I mean?
It's not.
You're there and you work. And for me, especially when I'm working, especially if I'm working with one of my singers, one of my this, one of that, it's work. You're there and you are trying melodies and you are exploring avenues, and it doesn't always just roll. It's, when you hear the song in the end, you're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. But you don't realize the 50 tries,
they don't get it.
all the stuff that you have to do to get to the point where your song sounds great.
Right.
So it's, it's like anything. It's an important thing in your life to have a relationship and to invest in somebody, so that the point is that, like, you want to show them, hey, these are the things that I need to do to be successful in my life. And you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you want to be able to be your own person, be strong, and then have this other person come in,
right,
and then complement that.
Right.
So for me, it was a learning curve to be like, I'm not like here like watching TV and like drinking beer. I'm in here working. When I send you an email at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning because I was working.
All right. So significant others out there is a stereotype that goes around that says that that's what we do. We go in the studio and we be like, hey, we be drinking and turning bottles upside down and smoking cigarettes and
only for
weed
TV.
and throwing stuff around. That is literally, you guys, not for, the ones who go with you to the studio who just be in there turned up like, I'm in here with Chris Brown, check me out. It's really work, y'all. Like, it's, especially when you have deadlines and you have clients that are waiting for things. And I've been a part of that whole writing camp thing where it's like, this person is waiting for this song at like 6 a.m. So what are you going to do? So studio, y'all, is not a game. Like, it's really not a game. Like,
and I hate
hours
wasting
upon
time.
hours. Yeah.
I don't like people chit-chatting too much in the studio.
Right.
Like,
you know what I hate the most about being in the studio? Is when something stops working.
Oh, we hit a wall. That actually happened to me with Elijah.
Something stops working.
With Elijah, the singer on stand-up the other day. It's crazy, but we ended up coming up with the greatest song. But there was this like weird 2-hour block where I thought we were going to kill each other.
Right.
Like, we were just like, nothing was clicking. And then you each take that tone where you're like, I will kill you right now.
Right.
If you
like,
say one more word.
Okay.
And then I guess through that we ended up coming up with something really great. But it's just funny, like you put two people in a room for 7, 8, 9 hours in a day. It's like,
the last time I was in the studio, there was a chord that we could not find. Somebody either took it out of the studio or just wasn't where we left it or something. And I'm just like, I'm ready to. I'm standing at the booth, like I'm at the mic, like ready for him to hit, like let's go.
And you had no.
And for some reason, the vocal was not going through the mic, and we're all in the studio pulling wires, like where is it? What is going on? Turns out the thing was plugged in, but it was just plugged in the wrong place. So
Lord.
that I was so irritated. Like I am like my brain is running melodies and I'm ready to, like, because like I said, I don't write on paper. So when it's on my brain, if I don't, I found
Gotta get
myself,
it
I had
out.
to stop and grab my phone, like, let me record this right now on my phone so that I don't forget it. Because when he played the track, it was playing in my ears, and I get ready to start singing and no sound. I was like, oh my God,
Nah, you gotta
that's like the
you
worst.
you gotta catch. I actually have in my room. So I have my studio downstairs, and in my room, I even have a smaller mini studio.
Yeah.
So that because I've gone to sleep and like woken up in the middle of the night and heard something, and I'm like, I got to get this down right now. So I have a small MIDI keyboard.
I used to be like that before I had children. When you have children, that whole waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I would literally turn over and sing to my phone and good night, because I
Honestly, just get in how you fit in. As long as you can get a version of something to remember.
Yeah, get it all out before you guys decide to have children, because you're gonna be you're gonna be at the booth like this singing with the whole like, because
We're gonna do baby sounds today, y'all.
yeah, right. Just add it to the album sporadically. Call the album the fetal position. I don't know, something. So do you guys find time for each other, in the sense of, like, artists really don't make time, or musicians and people in entertainment, we fail to make time for ourselves, like make time to, like, for me, it was, I think about 2.5 years ago, I was like, go to the nail shop. No. Go to do what? Like, I was not in the mindset of do something for Millan. Like, do something for yourself. Like, go get your eyebrow, do something.
Anything, yeah.
And now that I've kind of, I kind of make it a point to have time just for me, even if it's something that someone I choose to be around or somewhere I choose to relax. What's your, outside of entertainment and music, what is your relaxation process?
I love running.
Okay.
I definitely I go probably every day for a good 40-minute run.
Oh, you're good.
I mean, there's obviously days that you go left or right, but that's definitely like I feel like I always have people talking to me. Need something? Can you? Will you? Have you? Did you do it already? Is it coming in? Like,
welcome to the club. Yeah. Okay.
So there's always that sense of urgency involved. I'm involved in a lot of projects, and I'm super lucky. I mean, I'm grateful to the end.
Yeah.
But silence and peace is a luxury.
It is.
So like when I go for a run, it's me, it's my headphones, and I'm out. I don't even look at I put my phone on so you can't, you know what I mean? Like do not disturb, and I'm gone.
I think that my favorite way to get away from everything and everyone is to put my headphones on, play like my favorite playlist or my favorite songs, and just get on the bus. Get on a like public transportation, get on the bus and just drive. Or get on a train and just go.
I'm from New York, and I used to live in New York. And the one thing I miss about that city living is putting your headphones on. Like, you wake up on a Sunday morning with no plan. You're like, I'm just going to put my headphones on, walk into the city, grab a cup of coffee, and just see what happens.
Yeah. Things happen out there, though. I hear that on accident. Like, you could run into somebody that you really need to meet, like, on accident.
I mean, that could happen anywhere, I think. But, like, there's something about in LA or in most cities, when you leave, you kind of know where you're going. You're like, I'm getting in my car, I'm going from here to here. Then here.
Exactly.
New York, you could just say, I'm going to go that way.
Right. And then just see what happens.
And then you get coffee, and then something, and it just goes on and on and on. So that's the one thing I miss about back east. But just that process of like tuning out with music and then just really letting my mind wander, that's kind of like my thing to myself.
Cool. So I had this conversation with somebody like a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about how different cities they respond differently to musicians, and they respond differently to music, and the applause is just different. So I've performed in different cities before, and it was literally a city away from a city, and LA has such a, and I'm not bashing LA. I love LA. I love where I grew up, but I really think that in LA it's so hard to get somebody to clap for you just for the simple fact that you're going on stage, just for the simple fact that, it's not like when you were a little kid and when you're doing the Christmas program and they say, okay, 6th grade, Miss Brown's class, go, and everybody claps because they're all little kids, and why not? I feel like we need to protect that same feeling about adults, because it's not easy for an artist who this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, get on a stage and deliver music and give you all of me, and I can't get you to say that's dope. Even if you don't like my music, you're saying for this person to be able to get up on a stage in front of a bunch of people and say, hey, this is what I do, this is what I'm getting ready to do. I feel like it's so hard to get LA to do that. Like the first thing LA people do is you get on stage and they, then you have the girls on this side and they like waiting to see if you can actually sing so they can talk trash. And then the guys is saying, okay, she cute, but if she open her mouth and she can't sing, oh man,
if people's attention span is just tough now. Like everyone has another thing that they're looking. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I've seen people perform and like this is a person on a stage. Like it's not an easy thing to do. You know what I mean? And people are just on their phone talking, having side conversations, and you're like,
right.
Come on, can you just like for this given period of time give this person
give them your undivided attention?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went from I've done a couple of shows in LA where you have to literally say, hey everybody, and everybody's like, and then I have to. I think most times that I've performed, I've had to go, I don't hear nobody. Hey, what's going on? Hey, like, hello.
Got to rile up the crowd.
Right. And then I go to Jazz Lounge in Rialto, and the atmosphere was totally different. Now, this Rialto is about, 45 minutes away from here? I did a show out there, and when I got off the stage, when I was done with it, I said, this was okay. Like I felt better at the end because once you're comfortable, you feel better about what you're doing. And I was like, okay, I need to do better than this next time. So after that show, about I think 2 or 3 months later, I go to a concert and I watch Kenny Lattimore perform. And I'm literally at the stage, like if he came, I could touch his foot. I was like, close. And this lady is standing next to me, curly hair, beautiful woman. And she taps me and she goes, hi. And I said, hi. And she said, is your name Millan? I said, uh-huh. And she goes, were you the girl at the Jazz Lounge in Rialto the couple? I said, yeah. She said, girl, we was trying to keep up with you. You are so and I was like, what?
That's that perception again.
Exactly. That was that. And I just looked at it and I was humbled and I was like, thank you. And I felt so great. But I was like, wow, like maybe you did do a little bit, because when I got off, I was like, oh my God, that was terrible. First 2 songs, I was like, oh God, that was horrible.
Oh, even my best performances, I'm like, that was terrible. Like I'm like, please, no one show me any.
Please,
I never want to. I actually never want to watch post-show anything.
I found a bunch of videos in my computer of old performances, and I was like, it really wasn't that bad. Like I actually went back and said, put your headphones on online, just listen to it. And I hate looking at myself. I get in the studio and do a song, and when they get ready to do the playback, I'll be like, can I leave the room? And now I was like, it's really not that bad. It was actually okay. So I think I'm becoming more, I wouldn't say confident. I think I'm less concerned about how vulnerable I become when I do music. So do you ever sing to your girlfriend?
No.
Or play for her? I mean, or do you get your guitar and say, babe, listen to this?
Oh, I've played guitar for her for sure. Or, a lot of times I'll write something that I'll be like, oh, that kind of reminded me of you. And then I'll send it to her or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can she sing? Does she sing at all?
No. She jokes all the time. She's like, I have the worst voice on the planet. I'm like, yeah, kind of right. She's not a musician. She's not an artist. She's
right.
She's not. It's not her.
I have friends like that who go everywhere and they're singing, and you're like, girl, would you shut up?
She's amazing. She's beautiful, the whole thing, but she's not a singer.
Right. Yeah. Right. So what is she good at? What is your favorite thing about her?
This is going to sound so corny. She has a golden heart.
Oh.
She's just that, as a musician, you could become very like, I gotta focus, I gotta work, and everything becomes kind of like these work blocks when everything has got to be about the prize. We're never at the prize, but working. And then you meet someone who's just that's lovey, love all the time. Everything's all lovey-dovey. And then at first I was like, I'm trying to get back to work.
Relax.
And then you start to realize, like, no, that's an asset too. That's a thing. That's not, you don't take that for granted. Like that's when someone has that quality. That's not just like you have to appreciate it. I learned it wasn't an overnight kind of thing.
Well, that's usually how it is for most men, in a sense, I want to say, because most men nowadays, maybe not so much back in the day, because love was just kind of like, it was kind of there wasn't so many factors involved
Totally,
in dating. So now there's so many things. And I think that now, because we have so many different things attached to relationships and dating and love, and you got the internet and you got social media, I think that it's really important for us to like really stop and remind the person, like, you are everything to me right now. Like, you know, even though I have social media and I got 1,000,000 likes and I got 100 DMs with inappropriate photos and all this stuff, it's like sometimes you just have to stop and let them know none of this matters really. Like, you know,
we live in that culture, you know, swiping the whole thing. And I think we haven't given people, that's a human being behind that phone. Like, these are real, like, there's a person,
Real
it's
people.
a life. There's a whole thing behind it. You can't just disregard them. Like,
right.
And I think now, because of technology and because things are just so instant, we tend, all of us, we tend to like maybe not always put the full weight that something deserves. You know what I mean?
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this clear real quick, okay? A lot of relationships now have gotten to the point where we overthink sometimes. We need to talk more. I feel like we need to like literally either be on the phone or directly in my face having a conversation, because emojis will get you in some trouble. Okay? I mean, accidentally sending somebody the wrong text, like all that stuff. Like, if it's something important that somebody needs to know or needs to hear, call me. Don't text me, because emojis will get you in trouble. Like, a wink face will make a dude think the wrong thing. And it's literally like, I sent a wink face. Who did I send a wink face to?
Just don't send wink faces.
Right. I sent a wink face. Actually, one of my musician friends, I sent a wink. He said something. I said something to him about his album. And I sent a wink face to him when he responded. I was like, but the wink face was like, right.
Yeah, not to him. He's like, you love me.
No,
now.
he gets it, because we're in the same industry. But when you send an emoji to the wrong person, you send a wink face, or you send one of those really big smiles.
Things get lost in context.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, like you saying, oh, you need to change the hair color on your hair, LOL. Now, if I take the LOL off, that's a whole nother ballgame right there. Like, if I say love ya, YA, and I love you, wink face, it's like, what?
There's a lot of layers.
So
to
we
that.
gotta, if it's something that you really want somebody to really understand, if it's something specific that you want somebody to know, don't send me an emoji. Don't say love you much, and you really mean I love you. Like, you know. Text messages get people in trouble. I think that's why we, you know, social media, you know, with relationships, it's like, who is this? And who just liked? You got 15 likes. Ladies and gentlemen, social media is the way we promote ourselves. So when you see me like 15,000 photos of people that I don't know, and then you like this guy's photo 10 times, bro, he just posted 10 photos in a row. I'm just liking so that maybe he'll go to my profile and like back.
That's why I don't investigate.
Yeah,
that social media investigation will get you.
I can't tell you how many calls or text messages I get from friends that are like, "Girl, such and such posted such and such on his page. Go look." You're not gonna get me like that. No. You're not gonna get me like that. That's scary. So y'all be careful with these emojis and all of this interesting stuff y'all sending. I don't want to see. If I
do it all the time. I call people and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just calling to say what's up."
Right? Exactly.
Like,
what's wrong with that?
This isn't a phone. It's just you know, like, people don't expect to actually hear a voice on the other end.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So emojis to stay away from. Let me go on my phone so I don't miss one, because I'm just saying, maybe for me, stay away from them for me. Yeah. But I'm gonna go into my phone right now, and I'm going to go into a text message of somebody that probably won't take it the wrong way, and I'm going to just go into my emojis, and I'm just gonna tell you the ones that kind of raise red flags for most people. Okay, so we got that emoji with the tongue out. The emoji, that's a stay away from. If you know, be careful. Look at the contact. Look at the person's name you texting at the top of your screen before you hit that emoji. You want to stay away from. What else we got here? You want to stay away from the zipper mouth emoji, because that could be like, what are you not saying?
The water one's no good. The water one's gotta go.
Yeah, the water one. Yeah, like, what does that mean? You send that. You don't want to send like the water emoji to your uncle, and he like, hey, what does that mean? What else? We got the eggplant emoji. Man, if I get another eggplant emoji, I'm gonna just slap somebody.
I mean, I can't imagine what it must be to be on the female end of this conversation. Yeah,
we need to have like a whole panel of people in here to just talk about what these emojis mean. Like, there's a lot of them I don't even understand what they are. Like, when I send somebody hey, how are you, and you give me this, what does that mean? What does this mean when I say, hey, what's up, and you do the monkey face with the covered hands? What does that mean? Man, I think that there should be like an emoji Bible, or not like a Bible, like a
guide of some sort, where
an
like,
emoji guide. Yeah. Can somebody create the emoji guide, and so we can read what they mean? Because I have I am the definition of not a cool mom. Like, mom, you sent me the wrong emoji. Like, look, you know what I meant.
I mean, my mom does that to me all. When my mom discovered emoji, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a long day.
I hope and pray. I think my grandmother and my mom are the two wrong people to try to learn emojis, because it will come off wrong, because they don't date like we do now. So when a modern age guy sends my aunt an emoji, like, the happy face and all that stuff, she's like, oh, that's sweet. And he's like, no, he's like, it's about to go down. And you're like, oh, he's so sweet. And, that's not what that is. So since we're talking about relationships and mellowness and beautifulness, we're gonna go into your next song. This is another one that I really thought was dope. It was kind of like, okay.
I'm excited. Which one? Let's see. I don't know which one. I sent you a bunch. I'm curious.
Well, I'm just gonna play it and let the people get in there. We have a little bit of time left, so we're gonna listen to this song. I want y'all to know that we're about to get up in a little bit, and we're gonna go over here to this bar. Y'all know how we do, and we're gonna make some holiday cocktails. I'm gonna name something after Moses, and then I'm going to let you guys kind of see something really interesting that we decided to do with this cocktail this time. So we're gonna play another track, and we'll be back. Mixologist LA live.
You know that I'm a quick study. I'll be your best student, baby. Yeah, you gon' love me. Just keep it coming, I got it. Don't worry, trust me. To keep it real, you could probably learn something from me. I'ma let you know that I'm a quick study. I'll be your best student, baby. Yeah, you gon' love me. Just keep it coming, I got it. Don't worry, trust me. To keep it real, you could probably learn something from me. I want you to teach me. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. I want you to teach me. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. I want you to, baby, you're my assignment. I'm kind of excited. When I take you home, I'ma go to work. I'll bring all my supplies. Make sure that you're satisfied. I'll put in my best effort. Hey, I'ma let you know that I'm a quick study. I'll be your best student, baby. Yeah, you gon' love me. Just keep it coming, I got it. Don't worry, trust me. To keep it real, you could probably learn something from me. I'ma let you know that I'm a quick study. I'll be your best student, baby. Yeah, you gon' love me. Just keep it coming, I got it. Don't worry, trust me. To keep it real, you could probably learn something from me. I want you to teach me. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. I want you to teach me. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. I want you to. way too long. We can't take this anymore. Fight back, we must as one. Rise up, we must stand up. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something. 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 Or we'll fall for anything. Oh, 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 we'll fall for anything. Too many lives we have lost. All lives should matter to everyone. Fight back, we must as one. Rise up, we must stand up. We gotta stand up. Stand up for something. 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 Or we'll fall for anything. Oh, 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 we'll fall for it. Stand up today for tomorrow. Stand up for change to follow. Stand up today for tomorrow. Stand up for hope to follow. You gotta stand up. Stand up for something. We 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 gotta stand up. Stand up for something. Or fall for anything. Stepping out with my best friend. I feel like I'm slipping deeper into my shell, and I can't in. Stuff is scaring me to death. Maybe your baby done made some other plan, and making me worry. Maybe your baby done made some other plan. Oh, yeah.
Season's greetings. This is Richard Carr, station manager at LA Talk Live, and I just wanted to take a moment out to thank all of our listeners out there who helped to make LA Talk Live the internet's newest and hottest destination for beautiful music and invigorating talk. And I wanted to send out my heartfelt holiday wishes to all of our listeners worldwide and wish you all the very best of holiday seasons. Here's to peace, prosperity, and good health in the new year. Thanks for listening to LA Talk Live, and thanks for your support. Happy holidays to everyone.
All I want for Christmas is loving from you. I put you on my wish list like Santa, go get this. A smooth honey, girl, you look better than new money. Don't even know what better them eyes gon' do to me. I catch myself daydreaming in different situations, but the fear of approaching you, leaving me complacent. Wanna build with you like Masons. I see us touring the nations. I'm getting ahead of myself, well, I guess I learned some patience. But you got me thinking thoughts I never thought I would think. Like when I'm buying kicks for me, like, yo, do they come in pink or should I get that his and her sofa up on my sink for real? I'm going crazy, ain't no if, buts, and maybes. But maybe one day you and I go half on the baby. Split a $1,500 mortgage, half on the lazy boy sofa. For when people coming over want someone to take you to love, well, let me be your chauffeur, come on. All I want is you, all I want is you. A Christmas wish, girl, tell me, is it coming true? Cause if I can't have you, don't know what I'm gonna do. Cause the only thing I want for Christmas is me and you, come on. All I want is
You know what?
all I want is
It
you.
is nothing
A Christmas
like
wish, girl, tell me, is it coming
broadcasting
true?
live
Cause if I can't
with a
have you,
dope
don't know
artist
what I'm
next to
gonna
me,
do. Cause
and
the
we about
only
to have
thing I want for
drinks.
Christmas
Not
is me
too
and
bad.
you.
It's about to be
Too
dope.
bad.
So we got two. We're gonna do two cocktails today because everybody doesn't drink. So I know that there's a lot of people at the dinner table that are thinking like everything has alcohol in it. So I'm gonna do one holiday cocktail for you guys, and then I'm gonna do another cocktail that's gonna be non-alcoholic, but it might surprise you. The ingredients might surprise you a little
I'm
bit.
looking at that heavy
Yeah.
whipping cream, wondering what's going
Yeah,
on.
so it's gonna get real cute. So we're gonna try. We're gonna do some holiday-ish type stuff. We're gonna do a nice cocktail. We call it the White Christmas Mojito.
Okay.
We're gonna do that first, and then we're gonna switch over to a pineapple spinach lemonade with white wine.
Okay, that I'm gonna have to try.
You can do the one with white wine. You can do it with or without the wine. The lemonade by itself is amazing. If you want to add a small like alcoholic beverage to a little element, not too heavy, you just put the white wine with it. It's amazing. So we're gonna get started.
Okay, so I'm gonna watch a master here. Let's go.
Well, I heard you bartend, so we'll see how much of a master. So we're gonna use a little bit of heavy whipping cream. That's the white.
Oh,
This is the white part of the white Christmas mojito. So we're gonna put a half an ounce of white heavy cream. Yum 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 yum. We're gonna do two just because we're gonna make two of them. Because I want one too. I'm just gonna keep it real. I want one too. Oh well, okay. We're gonna do three. I saw some hands in the air. We're gonna do three. Do I hear four? Okay. Well, just let me put a little. There we go. Right. Somebody has to be in control. Okay. Right. Somebody got to drive. All right. So now we're gonna add a little bit of lime. I know lime and cream sounds kind of weird, but it's actually really tasty.
I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. So you can do half a lime for one cocktail, or you could do half a lime for two. I'm gonna do half a lime for all of them because we have a lot of other ingredients we're gonna add to this. So I don't want to put too much lime in here. So I might just do. I think we'll do half of one. Let's make sure this doesn't get all over the place. Bartenders out there, this is the correct way to use this. The first time I use this thing, I'm not even gonna lie. The first time I use this, because it looks like, you see like the bowl shape? I literally put this in there like this. And I was like, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not, I guess I'm not crazy because I'm not the only one. But you actually put it in there with the bowl shape up so that you push the juice down. Okay, so I learned that the hard way. So just in case y'all just got certified as a bartender and you don't want to go nowhere and look crazy like I did, yeah, let's keep from using that the wrong way. All right, so we got our whole lime in there. We're gonna add some pomegranate seeds, just a little bit. A few little pomegranate seeds, little pomegranate juice. Then we're gonna put some Grey Goose vodka in here. Since we're making 3 cocktails, since I got the arm up for 3 cocktails, there's an ounce and a half for every cocktail for this particular cocktail. So we're gonna do 3 to 4 ounces just to make it even. So, no, we're good. So tell me, what's your favorite spirit, Moses? What do you like?
I'm a whiskey man, or scotch rather. I enjoy myself a scotch from time to time.
Oh, not a lot of people like scotch. That's not a.
It's an acquired taste.
It is.
When I actually bartended, one of the first places I worked was a Latin bar,
Mm.
and they drank nothing but Johnny Walker Black and soda.
Oh, Johnny, ooh, man, that stuff will get you in trouble.
Yes, it will.
Johnny Walker will get you in trouble, you guys. Those of you who don't really know a lot about scotch, if there's something that you really don't think that somebody should know, that you're probably thinking that you probably would keep your mouth shut if you weren't drunk, don't drink scotch.
Or drink all the scotch.
Oh my goodness, yeah, Johnny Walker scotch. I want to say scotch and gin are like not good conversation pieces.
That's tequila.
Oh, tequila. Whoa, you know,
trouble all over it.
tequila is a baby maker.
And a fight maker and an earthquake maker.
All kind of stuff that can happen with tequila. Stay away from Jose Cuervo. He is the devil. Okay. I like tequila though. It depends on what you make with tequila. If you drink it straight, look out.
I like mezcal.
Oh, see, somebody got a little class over here. So we already put ice in our shake. We put some ice in here. So we have our lime juice, we have our heavy cream, we have our vodka in here. This is about to be so good. It's not even funny. So we're gonna shake this up and we're gonna drop it in our 3 glasses since we got a request for a third. We're gonna shake this up. Uh-oh, it's getting cute. Now this cocktail should have a bit of a pink tint to it, not like heavy, but just a little bit. You see the pink, how it's kind of pink a little bit? That's the pomegranate, yeah. That's why we call it the white Christmas mojito. So now, as we learned we have to smack the mint. Do not muddle your mint, please. A lot of people muddle their mint. Don't muddle your mint. Just smack it and put it in a glass. You will taste more mint smacking it than you ever will muddling a mint leaf. I promise. This is an absolute promise. And I love using mint. I use mint in a lot of my cocktails because it's just it makes everything so fresh. It makes everything taste fresh and you can smell it. You smell that? Oh, awesome. So you're in the right place today. All right, so we're going to drop these in. Oh, yeah. Isn't that gorgeous? It's a whole lot of things you can do with heavy cream. So good. Everybody's like, you're working, Millan. Are you about to drink that? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna make mine light though. Yeah, that's perfect. I don't need a whole lot. So your garnish for this particular cocktail is gonna be your mint leaf for one. And then you can drop a few of your pomegranate seeds on top. See how cute that is? Look how cute that is. Yeah, right? We gotta take some pictures of these before we give them to y'all. All right, so that's your white Christmas mojito. Nice. So I'm gonna let Moses taste this one while I make the next one. I know you're going to enjoy it. Tell me how you feel about it. There you go. Yum. Cheers.
You don't get the cheers?
Yeah.
Cheers.
What's that taste like?
Oh wow, that's crazy refreshing.
So good.
And I would have never guessed with heavy cream. I would have never put those 3 ingredients together ever. Oh, I would have never put those 3 ingredients together. That's amazing. And now I'm super loud. Okay, that's really good. I would never.
So our next one is going to be the one we're going to use. We're going to make this one with. This one's not going to have alcohol, or you can use alcohol if you want. Now, this is going to sound really weird, but it's really, really good, you guys. So the first thing you want to do is ice up your glasses. Ice them up. All right. So this one I pre-made at home because you have to use a blender and all these different other things, but you grab you some pineapples, slice them up. If you want to use the whole thing, fine, but not the outside because you might kill your throat. but you definitely wanna slice up your pineapples really nice, not like super huge chunks, but like enough for you to be able to blend them together. And then you take a whole bag of spinach, maybe a half. If you're not really heavy with spinach, you could put spinach. This is like something that you can do when you're like the health nut at the table. Like, yeah, I'm on a vegan diet or something like that. Spinach and pineapples is an excellent combination. Then you just mix it with a little bit of lemonade and you put that in a glass, and I promise you, will change your life. My son tried this the other day, and most kids don't really have those grown up adult expressions, but he tasted it and he goes, yeah, like it, right. So here's our mixture. It is green. It is very green. Very, very green. So I'm gonna let you guys try this, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of white wine in ours. But those of you at home, lemonade, pineapple, spinach, amazing. You guys can add garnish to it. You can add lemons. I prefer to add lemon because it is a lemonade, so I'm gonna garnish it with a lemon wheel. Bartenders, to make lemon wheels, do not slice up your lemon first and then cut your slit. You're gonna cut your slit before you even slice this thing. That way you don't lose the strength of the wheel to sit on the glass. If you cut it up first and then you're trying to make this little small incision, it's not really strong after you cut it. So we're only gonna do 2 since we only have 2. Boom. You can make them as thick or as thin as you want. If you like to eat lemon, then make them thick so you can eat yours. And then you could just put that right on the glass just like that. And give that to your guests. Isn't that pretty, full?
Great.
There you go.
All right. Should I?
Yeah, you ready?
Clearance?
Ready, go.
Wow, that's amazing. That's crazy good.
So new creation, guys.
That's really, really, really good.
Get in your kitchens and get your pineapples and your spinach, and make somebody come ask you what this is, and then when they taste it, you'll be like the favorite person of the day. So good. Cheers. So which one of these are you taking home to the girlfriend?
This is right up her alley. She'll love that one right there.
So I'm gonna take this one over to our friend Rich over there. Let's see if you ready?
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, he's smiling.
We got 2. You can't see, but we got 2 thumbs up.
So really interesting, guys. There's this new, I don't know, it may not be new to some of you. It's new to me, kinda, only because I'm very old school in the way I like to bartend. I like to do everything kind of traditional, but I'm learning the non-traditional way. And I was watching TV and I saw this thing on TV that opens a wine bottle. Now we usually use the wine key, the one where the cork screws in and you're trying to, and you're doing that whole thing. Yet again, ladies, this is not a sexy, this is not a sexy tool to use, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to look quite ridiculous. So I'm going to show you this new thing that I got. It is so cool. Okay, hold on one second. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
This guy right here?
Yes.
We found it.
Okay, I got it in all a little special bag and everything. Us ladies, we like to have our stuff all cute. So this is called the Bottle Rocket. And it comes with a few pieces, a few different pieces. This is the piece that takes the aluminum off the top so that you still have that wine look. A lot of people don't like to take this whole thing off because it kind of kills the look of, I just opened a bottle of wine. So all you got to do is take these little aluminum pieces right here and just put it on here and you squeeze it and turn. And then when you're done, it just pops right off. Look at that little piece of, that's so cool, and it's clean. Look at that. Look at the clean cut on that. Not cutting your fingers. You can, I cut my fingers on the aluminum at least, I can't tell you how many times I've cut my hands on this thing. Okay. So then they have this tool right here. This tool is the wine key, basically. This opens up your wine and allows you to still be able to use your cork. A lot of times people use the corkscrew and it turns it, and then it shreds it, tears it up. Then you got to put it back in, and then you wonder why you got cork in your mouth the next time you open your bottle. All you got to do is drop this on your bottle. There's a little needle. You see that needle? Right in the center of the cork. It drops right in, just like that. And then it pumps air into the wine, which is going to aerate your wine. It pumps air into the wine and then pushes the cork out with the air. So you just pump this a few times. Boom!
I have never seen that in my whole life.
And then this just pops the cork off. You pull this down and you can just pop your cork right off.
That's amazing.
And it's clean. It's not, you can put it right back in the bottle. It's perfect. Isn't that cool? So we're going to put a little wine in here. Oh my God. Yeah. Then they have this other little tool. This is an aerator. You put this inside your wine, and you like for wine to have like an airy taste to it. You don't want it to be, a lot of people like to spin it in the glass and give it the air quality. This is an aerator, and the aerator, what it does is when it pours, it pushes air into the wine before it comes out of the bottle. So it goes straight into the glass ready to drink. See that? It's clean. It's fresh. And then when you get ready to store your wine, you put this right in your wine bottle, and then you just pump your air out until it stops. And then when it gets too hard to pull, when it does that, it's done. And you're saving your bottle of wine for at least 3 or 4 more days than normal. Yeah. So cool! So now we're about to just drink cocktails. I want to take pictures of mine before I drink mine. So at home, white Christmas mojito. Get to your store. It's easy. Pomegranate seeds with a little bit of pomegranate juice. It's a little bit of vodka of your choice. I like Grey Goose and Tito's, so that's my vodka of choice. A little bit of mint leaf, smack it, drop some garnish on top. I mean, you can't miss. So we'll be back in a moment. We're gonna play a song that I think it was the one that it was called Body Talk. Let's play Body Talk, and I'm gonna take a few pictures of my drinks, and hopefully my drinks are gone, and when you come back. But we'll see you in a minute.
Every word to me is calling. I listen, I feel like falling when I hear your body talk. I can hear your body talking. Every word to me is calling. I listen, I feel like falling when I hear your body talk. Body talk. Was when we met. Every move you made, I cannot forget. Something about your ways made me feel so free. All the words I've said in our chemistry. I can hear your body talking. Every word to me is calling. I listen, I feel like falling when I hear your body talk. Hear your body talking. Every word to me is calling. I listen, I feel like falling when I hear your body talk. Body talk. Body talk. Touch that look out of my mind.
Mike's. Oh, there I am. Hey guys. So we're back, and we've been like enjoying this freaking
Amazing
lemonade.
cocktail. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So mine has wine in it, and I like it just the same.
I had it
tastes-
without the wine and it was amazing.
So good.
It was that good.
Yeah. So there you go. Everybody, you guys have to like try different things. You have to try as many things as you can try. I never would have thought spinach and pineapples together. I was like, ew.
And it was amazing.
It's so good. So this is something that you can definitely give your kids because kids really have an issue with healthy stuff.
It's a way to sneak the
Especially
spinach
when
in
it's
there.
green.
Mm-hmm.
Anything green, broccoli and Brussels sprouts. Well, Brussels sprouts are not my favorite either, but Brussels sprouts and broccoli and spinach and, you don't even have to tell them. You don't even have to tell them.
I want to know.
Yeah, you can also achieve this same flavor if you want it to be a little creamier than spinach, because when you blend spinach, it blends to like a liquid form. So it's a very light, leaf. It's really light. But if you want to do this same and get the same effect with and have maybe a little bit more tart, use avocados.
Oh.
Avocados are really good in drinks too, because you can't really taste. It's not like drinking guacamole.
Totally. Yeah.
Because guacamole, the whole base of guacamole is the lime and the other ingredients that you put in, the onions and all that stuff. So you can achieve the same thing if you want to do
More smoothie-ish.
a little smooth, a little bit more smooth with your ice, and blend up a avocado and mix it together and do the same thing just with the avocado. So, I mean, my night is about to be awesome. I'm about to add all kind of stuff to this because I'm getting
Party has
ready to
just begun here.
Okay, party over here. So Christmas, guys. What are we cooking? Are you cooking? Do you cook?
I love cooking.
Oh my god, ladies, you know what? You know what? Y'all have missed out, okay? Girlfriend at home, girl. You are just lucky over
Look
here.
at
The
this.
man can cook.
This is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
That's what you call the zombie brain when you make it look like that.
Oh, when you add a little like to
When you
cream
add,
and
yeah.
it does that thing. Yeah.
And it separates it. It's called a zombie brain. Don't ask me why.
She's about to drink a zombie brain, in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Yeah, I've tasted worse things. So if this is a zombie brain, I'll take that over some of the other things I've tasted any day. Okay. So if you guys want to get a bottle rocket, hit me in my DM. No emojis, please. Hit me in the DM. I'll be glad to explain how the bottle rocket works, how awesome it is. The aerator. I mean, it comes with 4 different pieces. Like again, like this right here, you can't beat the cleanness of this. Is awesome. Then you don't have to worry about cutting your fingers. A lot of bartenders, we cut our fingers on bottles very often. It's inevitable. As a bartender, you're always going to tear your fingers up on stuff. And it works on it works on all wine bottles.
It looks like you did it on this too, right?
No. Well, that was just my expertise there. No, I use the knife here.
She runs a very clean operation.
I use the knife here because, of course, the Grey Goose bottle has that little line in the middle where
the
you could just
perforated line,
so you could just pull the little thing off. Otherwise, we use knives and we use a corkscrew to open these bottles. And the corkscrew is an amazing tool. Don't get me wrong. If you guys have a corkscrew, by all means, use it. But if you want to be fancy and cute, just like us ladies, male bartenders, I think that the corkscrew thing is probably a little more masculine.
It's an old school quality to it.
And then I think it would be a bit ironic for a man to stick a needle in a wine glass and go like this. That would be like
Not the best look.
Yeah, it's not sexy. It's just like foods you don't eat on a first date. Like when you take a girl out, you don't take her to eat a cheeseburger because it's just not sexy. We don't want to be, it's just like,
you don't want that to be the first memory,
right? You know what? Now if a guy does do that to you, ladies, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying he's a man. Okay, so if he takes you to eat something like a cheeseburger or a chili dog or
no chili dogs
hot dog on a
first date.
stick, there's only 2 reasons for that. He's a man's man, or he ain't somebody. He's not financially. I mean, just a first date hot dog on a stick for real.
I don't think. That's
I mean,
the move, no.
And another tip, ladies, I know we like to say, well, I want a man that could take me out and he could pay, and I'm a woman, you're supposed to pay.
Uh-huh.
If you pay for yourself, everything is clean. It's like cooking and washing dishes. If you cook, I'm gonna wash the dishes. If I cook, you wash the dishes. So it's like there is no lingering, like I cooked and I washed the dishes, so what you gonna do?
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, if I ever have to ever go on a first date again, which I hope I never have to ever go on a first date again ever in my life.
He's looking at you.
Okay. He knows who I'm talking about. I prefer to pay for my own. So I'll pay for mine, you pay for yours. That way, if I really don't like you like that, it won't be like
nothing weird at the end.
You know, it's not like, okay, so do I kiss him now or do I not? So what was what's the first date thing that you just decided like?
The first date that I had with my girl, I actually cooked her dinner. And I guessed her favorite food. Didn't even know it.
You know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with this one. He's all over the place. Okay, we might have to do another segment called Relationships and You. Because you just, you know, but y'all do that though. Y'all say all the right stuff on purpose. I give you that, you know. So, I mean, I'm glad you're saying it. I'm glad you're saying it on my show. I'm glad you're saying it on my show. So what are first date don'ts for you? Like what would you see? What would a girl have to do for you to go, "Oh, no, I'm good"?
If she's on her phone all the time, if she's checked out, you know, you want someone who's attentive, someone who's asking questions, someone who's intrigued in what you're saying.
Right, right. Someone, well, don't be boring.
Definitely don't be boring.
Don't be boring. But that's also for the guys too. So if a woman is
that's
on her phone,
for humans. Don't be boring.
Yeah. But if a woman is on her phone on a first date with a guy, you're boring.
Or she's, you know, maybe she's. Yeah.
But if it's a first date and she likes you, you're boring.
Oh, well.
You know what I mean? Like if she likes the guy, it's just like,
yeah,
you're just cute.
I have been lucky enough to not been the victim.
Yeah.
Of phone attack.
Yeah. So do you ever have the issues of like being an attractive person? Because some people that aren't considered like, you know, somebody that you don't or I don't consider attractive, you know, when you have the more attractive people it's harder for them to be in the entertainment industry because
I don't know. I really, and this is gonna sound like whatever, but I try to focus on the work. I really do.
Yeah, that's
I know I know it's easier said than done, but I definitely, and maybe as a guy, just I'm cool just being in the chair, getting it done.
Oh, he's so special. So, we're gonna work out this double date situation. We're gonna have to go on a double date, thrilled, so that your girl can see that there is other men like you in the world.
She's looking at you.
He knows who he is. Oh my goodness! You know, I didn't realize this man had on his Jordans today. He might have to jump through some hoops later on. Jump through some hoops. So we about to wrap it on up. Well, I'm so glad you guys watched Mixologist LA Live. We'll be back next week with the amazing Duran Bernard. You do not want to miss that. I promise you don't want to miss that because I know this man is going to come get on this mic and say, if you better be watching next week because this man is amazing. He sings backup for Erykah Badu.
Oh, wow.
The man is amazing. The first time I heard him sing, that's all I could say. It was like drinking this cocktail right here. It was just like fresh. Like what? Like the man's performance quality is just amazing. So do not miss. Tune in next week, Saturday, 6 p.m., December 30th, right before the new year. We're going to bring it in with some more cocktails. And I know I know his palate. So I'm getting ready to get crazy at this bar when he gets here next week.
Well, I can't wait to hear him on the mic.
Man, he's amazing. Oh my God. I'm going to play all of his music next week. Anything he'll bring me, I will play it. I will do 20 commercial breaks and just do like a listening party.
You guys have like a 2-minute conversation.
Man, I'm telling you. So tune in next week. I want to say huge thank you to our beautiful guest, Moses, the man of the hour, at least for this hour. Yeah. We'll be back next week, same time, same beautiful location. And thank you for watching Mixologist LA Live.
Take care, y'all.
Just keep it coming, I got it, don't worry, trust me. To keep it real, you can probably learn something from me. I want you to teach me, show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you do it, hey. I want you to teach me, show me how you do it, hey. Show me how you
Thank you for tuning in to LA Talk Live, reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we're more than just talk. Stay tuned.
Concerning where I stay. In between you and me, I'm the type of freak that's neat. So I can breathe, even take you with me. Call me Mr. Clean, and I reveal to you what it means. But let me check your stairs before you go there. Let me check upstairs to make sure my room is square. I'm nobody's Rosie, but I sure can use my vacuum. Never tried to be Florence, but I'll dust all over you, so you can breathe. Even escort the way out if you want to leave. Call me Mr. Clean, and I'll reveal to you what it means. You can still bring me to tears every time we reminisce over a decade of memories. Nothing can surpass this. But I can't do this no more. It's not you, it's me, I'm sure. Not even cliche. I'm gentle, but I'm frank. No, I lost. We win or we learn. I'll love you from afar. I gotta keep my distance. You're a constant reminder of what I was missing when I was insufficient. I cringe at your name, shudder at the sound of your voice. I wish I could feel otherwise, but my heart leaves me no choice. Stuck around for too long.
Thank you for tuning into LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network, original reality radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk. Stay tuned.